Hello, welcome to Open House. I am Mrs. Erdman here at Liberty High School and room 867, where I host public speaking, 11th grade English, and senior English. I have to begin with an apology as I am not coming to you live right now. I am presently in another Zoom meeting with a night course and I am due to present, but I am keeping an eye on the chat button that is located on the bottom of your Zoom screen window. Please feel free to post any questions you have in there after you have viewed my very short video going over the syllabus you may have already seen, especially after having signed the course contract. But if you have any questions, please feel free to post in that chat room. I will keep an eye on it and I will then tune back in. So again, I am sorry, but if you have any questions, post there. So stay tuned for the quick explanation of the syllabus. Hopefully I answer all your questions. Thank you. So I'm sure there are a few questions about sanitation here at Liberty. I can assure you protocol has changed very much so due to this pandemic. So obviously mask wearing is quite essential. No one wants to ruin it for anyone else, and people are deserving of a quick sanitary school. There are fewer than 50% students in the building. I can tell you right now, I have a class of 12. That is my highest amount of students, and my lowest student count in a course at one time in this classroom is 5. And then there are e-learners as well. So whatever your student, whichever status your student has chosen or you have chosen for them, it is a very safe environment. Masks are worn 6 feet apart. The desks are spaced. Everything is wiped down and sprayed every day. In fact, my custodian is probably going to come in right now with his magic spraying wand and take care of the desks, my computer, the doorknobs, and anything anyone could possibly touch. So the rooms are cleaned every day. No more hall passes. We sign an individual pre-signed pass. They throw it away afterwards. And I finally have a reason never to share my pens with my students. So everything is their own. And I, just like you, am just as worried about my family and my safety and others I come in contact with. So I can assure you we are following protocol. Another aspect, if you notice on the screen, would be our semester. I know you're worried about what we're going to do in this class. If you're in my English 12 class, if you're worried about that for your child, we follow cognition. We also do study strategies, study skills. I give them techniques throughout the whole course, how to get one up on everything and how to get ahead and how to study and how to learn. We just had a unit on that. And then they will focus on writing. I will be very demanding on writing, not on quantity, but more on quality. So I'm forcing them to write with better vocabulary and to take it more seriously. I always tell them, if you want to be taken seriously in the future, you want to write seriously. So that is my job. And because Keystones did not require students to write at all, the curriculum has dissolved much of that out of writing. So my job as their English teacher is to have them write well before they leave. I also tell them I am the last English teacher many of them will ever have. So of course we fine tune our grammar, work on what we need. My job is mastery to work with their writing. And then we delve into some literature. We just began Beowulf these last 2 days. They have work tomorrow on it to read a little bit. I have sent home textbooks to all my students, except the e-learners will be picking up their textbooks Monday, September 14th. We have spaced out between 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. A principal has volunteered to stay here at school till 5 o'clock so that people can pick them up. Please have your child pick them up or have someone pick them up for them. They will be in the main office as soon as you come in around the right-hand corner. This way, they don't have to read PDFs off the screen. It's much more feasible for them to look at a textbook. They have all been sanitized. They will be their own copy. They can keep them home until the end of the course. So please make sure they get their textbooks. But the rest of you have a huge 10-pound, $85 textbook sitting in your house somewhere. Hopefully they're using it. So other than that, we're going to go into one novel, and the novel is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I believe every person needs to read that to think a little bit more about their lives and their legacy. That will be coming home soon as well. E-learners, you'll get that with your textbook on the 14th. And that will be assigned a long, extensive time to read the book. Don't want students to dread reading, so therefore they're not going to have a study guide or study packet. They're not going to be interrupted reading this novel. They're basically going to get a novel, enjoy it for once. It's quickly paced. It's a lower reading level, but a higher philosophical level. And it is very universal. Maybe you're nodding your head right now, remembering the book if you've read it. So I do recommend to you, as you see your child read this book, if you catch them, grab it from them and read it as well. It can be done in a few hours if in the right setting. So that will be sent home, but only assignment that goes with that are 5 very deep questions that reveal if they truly understood the book. So they can't cheat that, but they must read the book, and they're not going to be forced to hate reading because they're going to be stopped and go. So they're going to enjoy it. No study guides. I want them to leave Liberty High School enjoying a book. That is my goal. So that's the legacy unit. And then the last section of the course right now, I'm going to tell you that starting in, I think it'd be November, the first week in November, the second market period, I will be shifting gears to a business writing course, English course, the course that every student should have before they graduate Liberty High School. In this session, they will finalize, if not begin, business letters, finalize and tweak their resume. We will talk about interviewing skills. We will practice them, hopefully, and also digital footprint, what to worry about, even to study email etiquette and what CC means in an email, and so on and so forth. Very important skills and writing skills for them in the real world. So that will be concluding our second marking period of this full semester. So that's pretty much how the course goes. Now, if you are in public speaking, your child would be doing improvisational activities. He or she would be doing podcasting. There's going to be a few small speeches about a bucket list just to get them used to the class. Now, it's funny because the most amount of students I have in my public speaking class at one time is 6. So they're not having to worry about too much of being nervous too much, but we're going to make it the best out of it. For the e-learners, they're going to be recording their speeches, and we will be cross-analyzing them on a Flipgrid. They are already familiar with this as well. So as for formal presentations, I'll give them advice, tips, how the slideshow isn't always so good, maybe possibly a TED Talk and so on. There are no formal tests. There's no final exam and an elective, but there may be a couple quizzes and a couple write-ups. Not a lot of stress, meant to boost their grades, but more importantly, meant to empower them and give them confidence in their public speaking. Now, overall, check the gradebook on eSchool. Schoology gradebook is not accurate for all teachers, especially if I do an assignment in class, and Schoology is not where I scored the assignment, so it won't show up in that gradebook. Check eSchool for the ultimate grades. Parents, please pay attention to this right here. The E stands for excused, and I need to explain that to you in that it means I'm either grading the assignment and I don't want it to affect their grade that I have not finished, or they literally were excused for it. It was something that I did not give to that class and I needed to put it in as a mass grade, and it's excused. Blank space is counting as a 0 right now, but they still can hand it in, and a 0 means don't bother. It's been too long and too excessive. Obviously, I understand the legal accommodations for several students, and they are definitely considered in this, but in general, these are my grading rules. So when you see the gradebook, don't panic. And also give it a day or two. Sometimes I'm literally typing in the grades as you're looking at it, and it's not live. And some days I just don't get to the grading that night, but I will take care of the scoring at a quite about 2-day turnaround. Presently, I'm a little overloaded, but it will change. So this is the grading for the English 12. I'm sure your child has shown you that. And then this public speaking is a little different. So I gave them help for technology. I gave them some tutorials on their Schoology page. It is all accessible as well. And all materials on Schoology are posted for that whole week. And the following Monday, I take them down and I unpublish them, which gives everyone their legal extended date, and so on and so forth. And I do understand as senior students, they are working, but I'm hoping that they realize that they're back to school. It's their bosses you have to talk to, that they are off 8 to 3 to be home online, to be working whenever, they can get their work done. It's not online classes and whenever you want to work, they're back to a school schedule. Even though a due date may not be till 5 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, they should be working in the morning. So yeah, they might not look too good or in the morning, might not look too awake, but they are to be working. So I have a lot of students who are, I'll turn my lights back on, who are working and their jobs consider them to be off because they are off maybe Wednesdays and Fridays. It's not true. They are to be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The hybrid students are allowed to come in and they can ask any questions or clarification, and we give them assignment and continue on to the next day. So tell them in my class to check something called the pacing guide. They are very much aware of this. This guide will tell them everything they need for every day. I gave them a lot of study hints, and of course this is my biography, but in all seriousness, your student needs to understand the pacing guide, which tells them what to do every day, and also so that they are kept on pace, and so they are not going ahead, not stressing out, not doing too much work at one time. The pacing guide is always located on their main page in Schoology, and this guide will show them, let's take English 12, it will show them live exactly what they are to be doing on what day. They are also titled the same way they are in Schoology. E-learners, their column is here. They follow this. Monday, M through Z is here, and also A through L. Same color every time, and everything is updated live. So far it seems to be going quite well. I'm kind of worried about some students here and there, but communication is on the main page as well. They have a discussion forum. They can email me for a personal issue, but they go in a discussion forum. Anybody in the class can help them, which saves me stress and other students stress too. And I also send them announcements through here as well. Your students also most likely signed up for a remind text feature in which I could send a whole announcement to them. They can't see my number, I can't see theirs. So anyway, this is their pacing guide. They also have their discussion forums, and they will have all their course materials in here. And they are very familiar as to where to get the materials. So they have textbooks, they have Schoology, they have the pacing guide. I'm hoping everything makes sense to them, and I truly hope that you do not have any major questions, but you are more than welcome at this time to post into the chat room. If you go down to the bottom of the Zoom page, there is a chat room that could trigger me to come back and talk to you at any time you need. So again, I am Mrs. Erdman. I am coming to you somewhat live from Liberty High School in room 867. If you have any questions, please post in the chat room, and I'm really hoping for a smooth year. Masks and all, we'll do what we can do, and we'll make it through, and I'm hoping this is a small speck in our memories, in your high schoolers' memories. Thank you.